Murder Moose! Hey, guys, welcome. It's episode 127. It's Titan time. And I'm going to continue to say
Titan time.
We're Murder Moose Podcast, part of the Slash and Cast Podcast Network.
It's in the game.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to hit the button, but...
No, I had a shark in my hand instead, so...
Yeah. Dude, I keep seeing your what do you call it, mask behind you and thinking someone's just like, I've been into the scary
V for Vendetta?
Yeah, the V for Vendetta mask. But
oh yeah, I see
wait. Oh wait, I got to move it. There we go.
I've been diving down
funny.
I've been diving down the Instagram Reels like scary video thing, which obviously most of them are very, very, very fake, but like that's the kind of shit they stick in the back of videos and they're like, did you see it? Wait until the very end. Nothing will ever make me click off your video faster and then tell you.
Did you say you're watching Chills? Are you sitting around watching number one?
No, there's just like the Instagram Reels, I said. I think.
Yeah, Reels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I straight up just called out somebody. Chills, you're great.
No, I meant Reels on Instagram. Because of the, that's like the horror, like the especially there's like a lot of like Spanish ones where it's like there's just some obviously like fake shit in there, but it's like can be some freaky shit. But yeah,
I've been messing around with AI, like every form of AI. Like I want to know what they all do, which ones I want to use, and holy fuck, there's so many stupid tasks that I've had like just issues with my entire life, especially like anything to do with like writing. I'm better at like knowing what I want after I see something. So the editing process, I know where it needs to be, but getting there at the beginning is like impossible for me sometimes. And to just like go, I need something written like this, and it's like, here you go, and I'm like, oh my god, this is oh my god.
And if you guys don't know, that's the sound Josh makes when he comes in his pants. So here we are.
Yeah, but I'm not wearing pants.
I mean, he just came all over the floor. It's all sticky. It's all sticky. Sticky.
What about you, Kin?
What about me? I didn't come on the floor.
Oh, snap.
Sploosh.
Speaking of, wait, we were doing.
I don't.
Oh yeah, we were talking about blowjobs.
I'm blowing.
Listen, okay. This is gonna turn into a meme really fast, right off the bat. Growing up, okay. Blowjobs in general, they make no sense as a name for anything, because all I can think of, and all I could think of until I learned, was just oh no, I better not. I have a recorder and I was gonna do it, and I was like, maybe not. But all I could think of was like, I knew it was a sexual act involving a mouth and a man and a penis, and I thought you were supposed to blow it up, and I could never understand how that worked. So
it's okay. I mean,
sex ed kids.
Josh and I, and Ken, you were probably the latter ends of it. Like when we were kids, like I was like 13, going into AOL chat rooms, acting like I was a lesbian or something like that. Just because you're a stupid 13-year-old kid going, yeah, I have these kind of, just giving out like you have no idea what sizes are. You're like, I'm 36 HF, and you just make it up, and then you're just like making shit up because you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And then you realize like later on, you're like, oh, that was just like horny kids all over.
I used to.
Oh, it doesn't stop it? Wow, that's a long clip. Sorry.
I used to sit in chat.com and do shit like that. And then one time I started talking to this dude, and And he was like, do you want to be my girlfriend? And I was like, yeah. And so I was staying at a friend's house and he was like, okay, well, meet me back online at this time in the chat room. Because back in the, it was pre-AIM.
Yeah.
We didn't have AIM at the time.
I remember the Napster chat rooms.
Oh, yeah. But like, I remember getting up in the middle of the night and going and sitting and waiting for my online boyfriend. And he never showed.
Heartbreaking.
Broke my heart.
What a dick.
What a dick.
That you wanted to blow.
You. I mean, it's again, porn wasn't easily accessible. When we
Yeah,
were
it was
kids,
like,
there's a boob. I see a titty. So yeah, it was like.
I remember my friend had dial-up. Before, he had way before. Oh, dude, check this out. You can hear it. I'm like, oh my god, are you Are you looking at porn again?
What were the words you had to use on AOL? I didn't have AOL. We were poor. My friend had AOL. There were like key terms or search terms, and it was like before you used like full-blown web addresses.
Man.
Oh God, what were they called?
I don't even remember. Yeah, because that was like before Google, right? And you're like, sitting there, you had basically you had to know about a website. Like people are like,
yes,
you gotta go to Newgrounds.
I made sites back then, like GeoCity sites, and most sites had like a bottom section of all their favorite sites. So that's how you knew, like, and I would add like a whole bunch of links to like cool sites, and that's the only way you could know about other cool sites. Is like the bottom part of people's websites told you where to go. Oh,
and then also like when we were in school, we would have to like when search functionality was just kind of coming around, and you had Yahoo and Lycos and Dogpile and Jeeves. And but you had to like put in special ways of doing it. Like you had to like write a word and then a plus sign and then a word and then an equal sign. Like it was like fucking coding to search for things. Now I can pull up my phone and be like, why does my pee smell like asparagus?
Now there's Chat GPT and like, all these AI things. It's insane. It's insane.
You could tweet it and go, why am I pregnant after fucking a car?
But the thing with this AI stuff, it's gonna change the way search engines or even a lot of the need for search engines and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. It's weird to think about because like especially because I make websites and stuff too, and a lot of it is like the last however long decade has been about this SEO stuff. And it's going to be way less about SEO and more about feeding these AI bots directly instead. Because they're scouring the internet with a robot instead of you having to do your own research. Well, a robot can do it for you.
What's the Twitch chat one? Can like chat, what the fuck is it called? Like Chat GP or some shit like that? That's like, I don't know, like a bot.
Chat GPT.
Yeah, GPT.
Yeah.
Yeah,
back before like GPT was like being utilized a lot. I had a lot of friends who were dicking around with AI, and one of my friends had made a chatbot that was great, and it would respond and it would learn, and it was really, really intelligent for the time because this was quite a few years ago. And one day they had the bot going, and it would like learn off of behavior on chat. So the one day the bot was like super loving and huggy and welcoming.
Oh no.
And then the next day it had to be shut off because it got super like anti-Semitic and racist. What? And he was like, who are you guys? Like, this is not you. And why is the bot talking like this? And they're like, one person is whispering it. And they were like, oh,
really? So
that's, I saw a story about the Twitter profile that like Microsoft or whoever came up with years ago, and it was like some teenage, it like was acting like a teenage girl, and it was saying all this stuff, and then like it lasted less than 24 hours before it was spouting it was like anti-Semitic, like racist shit. It was less than 24. It was such a short amount of time to go, fuck, man. It's the scary part about all the AI stuff is, I don't know if you saw it, like They were someone was trying to sell off like France had those is appropriate because we're talking about Titane, but like France had those riots in where all the people were like like pissed off and like striking, and someone put a picture of like a SWAT guy, a French SWAT guy with like someone like it was all cute, and then you look at the SWAT guy's hand and he had 6 fingers. Because the AI
He was AI generated.
Yeah, the whole image was AI generated, and you sit there and go, "This is the kind of shit." And because we already know what the fuck like Russia and China and shit will do with the fucking like Facebook and stuff like that. And guess what? The stupid people believe every fucking thing they read and see. So you're like, "Oh, okay, they're gonna like our democracy."
Fuck Russia.
Yeah, fuck Russia until the end of time.
My girlfriend's not doing okay today because of that video that surfaced with the Ukrainian guy getting shot because he chose to say, "I'm staying with my motherland," and they shot him on video and posted it. And now I've seen it, and that's a horror fucking movie. Like that's not good.
That's not even a horror movie. That's horror reality, man. And it's just
I know, but I just had this conversation with some random person at Walmart came up to us and was chatting with us, and is in the like health industry and stuff. But to like, to talk to people that have actual horror going on in their lives, seeing it and it affecting them, like this is real, right? Whereas I love horror and I love horror movies, and when I talk about it, it's not the actual things that are happening that make me love it. It's the art that goes into filmmaking and getting a rise out of people, and there's such a disconnect. But then when I see that, wow, it makes me feel even like a tiny bit different, and kind of I can empathize with their viewpoint a little more because I don't think of it like that at all. I know the process. It's an art, and man, that video affected me today. So fuck Russia.
Yep, dude. By the way, Weasel's eyes are just like glowing on camera. Her eyes are adorable as shit. They're just like bright as shit, man.
Whoa!
Yeah, Weasel, you got some bright ass eyes. Look at that Weasel. I love her spotted ears. I don't think I've ever noticed her spots in her ears before.
Cool.
Normally, she won't look at the camera at all, so I don't know what the deal is. Yeah. But she's got really spotted ears, and this ear's got almost a hole in the middle of it. But
she's adorable. I mean, I just know her from causing havoc in chat and like while you're streaming, but now she's just pretty chill. So
yeah.
Hi. So, before we jump into Titane, have you guys been watching anything else? Like, I was telling you guys, I finished up the
Last of Us. My God,
I haven't watched the last episode yet because I was watching
my God,
wrestling last night.
Give her an Emmy. Wow, like I was just like, it's so powerful, and like I've never like teared up and felt more from any show ever in my life. Yeah. It is so fucking well done. It's wow. Fuck that show's too good. Fuck that show.
I can't wait till like the last episode and people are recording what happens at the end of that episode because I know what's happening. It's gonna people are gonna be like,
is there 10 or 9 episodes?
10. So there's
two more. Yeah. It's so good.
I know what episode that was, so I'm like, I have an idea what's going on with it, but like
Gizmo back there digging his spot.
Yeah, he's a little troublemaker. The poodles were here until like this morning, and Zach came by and got him, and it was like Gizmo's just like finally I could be free without like poodles like making him do barrel rolls. Like multiple times outside they ran into him and you just see him go rolling sideways, and it's like you see me rolling, and it's just like Gizmo just going through it all. But yeah. So he's just kind of chilling for the first time. We had like 6 dogs in my house for the weekend, and it was lots of chaos. So, I finished up Cabinet of Curiosities. I had watched like the first 2 episodes or something like
I think I only had like 1 or 2 left, and then I totally forgot that show even existed. So
I
That's
liked
where I'm at.
most. I liked most of it. The one that I was just a little bit like with was the chick from the Garfunkel and Simon or Oates. Was it Garfunkel and Oates? The female,
the skin cream one.
Yeah, the skin cream one. Yep,
That one was fucking fantastic.
that was my least favorite one of all of them. To be
What?
completely honest, yeah, because it was like the ending. It was just like.
I know.
But yeah, so I finished that up. But my sister's been in town. We watched Psycho Gorman yesterday.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
And
So how do you feel about that, Ken? He's watched it again.
I would like to let you know that the community has said that I will not be watching it because now
Hey, that's not our
we're
community.
in too
That's not
deep.
ours.
Yeah, they are. They're part of this community. Weasel, what are you doing? She's like stretched out.
she's like, I will watch them and I will kill them.
She's never been this interested in anything. Okay, sorry.
She's adorable and I love her.
No, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Have you watched any horror or anything else you've been going through, Ken?
I yesterday started rewatching Party Down because I want to watch the new season. So
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't having a good night last night. So I was like, what's something mindless? Yes, Rob Thomas stuff. Let's go. Bring me back Veronica Mars.
I haven't watched that. My wife mostly liked the Netflix version or whatever they did a couple years. What was that? That was like more than a couple years ago.
Oh
at this
yeah,
point, right?
for sure.
Party Down.
No,
Like, it was
the Veronica Mars one.
Oh,
the, like,
yeah.
When they redid it. Or
Yeah.
Well,
brought
they
it
did
back.
the movie for it. They never redid
Yeah.
the whole thing, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just
But-
that's what I meant. They came back and
Yeah.
did a movie.
Yeah.
Kind of like they did with
Wow.
Gilmore Girls, like where they came and did they're more like, wasn't it like, I don't know if it was 1 or 3 or whatever, but yeah. So as Netflix continues to cancel things and they're spending, I saw they're dropping 100 and something 50 million on a romantic comedy, and I'm like,
Who?
I'm like,
Netflix?
yeah, Netflix is.
Who's in it?
I don't know. I think Scarlett Johansson is in it.
$150 million budget for a movie?
Yep.
For just the okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just saw something about it and I'm like, what the fuck? Because people are complaining because they cancel everything that people like. As soon as they cancel Big Mouth, will be the final straw with Netflix with me because I
Oh,
love
for a brief second, I thought you said they did cancel Big Mouth,
No.
and I was like, oh.
I don't really go on Netflix, to be honest. Like anything that is like kind of worth watching, I just put on my Plex. So I don't know.
Netflix is like, for me, it is like when have nothing to watch, I'll go watch their silly reality cooking contest because they have a lot of like ones I could put on and just like completely just turn my brain off for like a couple hours. Like they just had one where they were making like snacks and they had to like imitate things like Kit Kats and Pringles and shit like that. That was entertaining shit. And Netflix has the best show ever, which is How to Build a Sex Room, and How to Build a Sex Room is the best show ever. And yeah, if you've not
That's
seen
on
it,
what? Amazon?
on Netflix.
On Netflix?
Yeah, it is wonderful with a horny old British lady. Just fucking like it is.
Everything?
It is everything, man. It is.
No, she's
It
fucking
is-
everything.
And still, can you watch that? Right? It's still
I
that
have.
show. Well, oh, you haven't?
Okay.
Okay, you need to watch it. But my favorite thing of all, like, or least favorite is the there's an old older married couple that the guy doesn't even know if his wife's ever had an orgasm, and his wife's like, I don't know.
I remember you talking about
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, I think I was talking about it with Katie, and I'm like,
I just watch a shit ton of YouTube, like a
Yeah.
shit ton. We've been watching like more and more and more because the more we watch, the more the algorithm knows what we want to watch, and then
Yeah.
it's putting in front of us like a whole bunch of new YouTubers that are right in line with like the type of stuff that we do want to watch, like more informative.
Yeah.
And wow, it's good content too. Like
Yeah.
YouTube is something, man. Like there's something to it because people take it very seriously, and it excites me to be trying again. Like I'm behind the scenes right now on my stuff, and I'm having a lot of fun, and there's no expectations, and I'm doing something completely different, and I'm getting to, I don't know, man, like, because I I love making films and I love doing whatever. So instead of it being like this huge, massive whatever, I'm just seeing what I can kind of do, right? Like, I don't know.
The problem with all content creation is if you ever go into it with like expecting anything, you're setting yourself out for disappointment, even if like, because the problem is if you have expectations and you get them, then you'll like have bigger expectations and like all this stuff. So I think it's like, I'm not saying not have like ideas of what you want to do and take your content with, but like going in it.
No, I want to. The only idea I have is to create really good content for the first. You know, I don't feel like before when I was doing it, I was creating the best I could or putting enough. I don't know, like of my effort into the actual content itself. It was always about everything that it was wrapped in, because that's what I do for a living, is making things, the wrapper shining for everything look nice, right? So now I'm having more fun with the actual content itself, and it's refreshing as hell.
Nice. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm very happy for you, Josh. Okay, we're gonna dive in now to this movie, Titane from 2021.
Titan.
And its synopsis reads as follows. Following a series of unexplained crimes, a father is reunited with a son who has been missing for 10 years, which is the most insane summary of a film I've ever, because it's like if you took like one of the X-Men movies and you're like, a middle-aged man goes to a bar and drinks a few whiskeys, and that was like your plot synopsis. This is,
so doesn't explain anything, but the amount of times I almost watched this movie because of the poster itself. It was at like all the film festivals, the years that I was like attending as well, and I'm just like, man, I really want to check this one out because wow, that poster is fucking phenomenal. And I'm glad I didn't until now, to be honest, because like if it was just like one that was like seen in that context, I don't even know. Like I'm happy that I have friends to digest this with, because seeing a movie like this definitely grants having a conversation after about it, because it is so fucking unique in every way, shape, and form. It is nutty as hell, and it is unapologetic with what it is, and that's what makes it work, though. Like, it wouldn't have worked if they didn't go all in and say, fuck you, the entire time. It's just like, what is fuck you, but what is it? Fuck you. That's it. And
it's very... I mean, the director is Julia DiCorano, I don't know how to say her name correctly, who did Raw, which is fucking fantastic if you've never seen it.
I was going to ask about Raw because I haven't seen it, and everything was like, oh, it's like, you know.
It's the same kind of filmmaking. It's just less insane, which is saying things. But like that movie it's bonkers also. But this movie is just like, it almost feels like satire at points, right? Like things like rubber or something like that. Like it's like this weird like I was saying before when we started recording, it almost feels like kind of two different movies put together, right? Like there's the plot of this girl who gets in this really bad I'm sorry, she was being a little twat and kind of fucked herself up, and her dad was an idiot and almost killed her, but didn't kill her. And eventually, that was basically a suicide, if you think about it, because then, 10 years later. What was the time gap? I don't even know if I noticed the time, how.
She was 32 at the end.
Okay.
And so I think she was like, I don't know, was she like 10 in the car accident?
Something
But I know
like
she
that,
was
yeah.
32 at the end.
Yeah.
And she learned how to dance like crazy.
Yeah. There's so much watching this film that I was sitting there watching with my sister who's visiting, and I'm like, she is wrapping her tits and her like huge stomach, and like, and then obviously it's prosthetics, and then like the next scene you could tell that there are like she's got like little petite boobies at the beginning of the movie, and then after she gets impregnated, they get much larger, and then her belly starts getting, and you're like, how you couldn't bind a pregnant stomach to
No.
and it's just like, it's this weird it's like a serial kill. It reminded me of, actually, the other movie that kind of reminded me of was another French movie, is High Tension, because of that, like, you don't know, this movie feels like it's like unreliable narrator, right? You don't know what's happening, and then until the very, very, like, the last scene of the movie, you don't know if any of this shit is like, I guess the earlier scene with the that dude's wife, right, his ex-wife, she sees her and is like, hey,
I love that party scene. That's my favorite scene in the movie, where she's just like, fuck, how many more of you are there? Like, fuck, I hope no one else is coming.
My sister and I are sitting there going, why are they like, they're like moshing to like EDM music, and it's just like 40 like hot guys, like just no shirts on.
Yeah,
just
what the
like,
fuck?
It's interesting you think about it, like a female director, right? Like, obviously, like, it's like, if this was a guy director, would it have been like 40 chicks, like,
No,
like,
they're firefighters, right?
Well, I know but that's what I'm saying is, it's that unique perspective from a woman's, like, woman director's, like, perspective, right? And like, it is always things like, because French film is fucking gnarly, man. It's like, we did that Revenge movie. Did you do that with me, Josh? Were you around for that? Yeah, Revenge, which was another.
I loved it.
Yeah, that movie's gnarly.
It's very much the remake of I Spit on Your Grave, but it's still, it does it a little bit more. It goes less like on the, I don't know, torture porn route, and more on the actual just like craziness.
Yeah.
And I feel like French movies, I don't know, they have like their line that, I feel like American movies or North American movies, there's a line that we feel like, okay, we're just not going to cross that. And French movies, their line is just a little bit further past that. So we're just like, holy fuck, what am I watching? And I always feel like a French movie, just because High Tension was just one of those ones that fucked me up a lot. And I feel like I should rewatch it, but just that stair scene with the decapitation,
it's great.
It fucked me up, man. I don't know.
Have you seen High Tension? Okay.
I don't think so.
You would know.
Is our horror guru here. There's a few.
What do you mean?
I can't.
Do you really like horror, kid?
No, I can't. No. But are you really? Thank you.
What's your gamer score, kid? Are you really a gamer?
Wait.
How many times have you beat Dark Souls?
So we're going to put together, I'm going to ask ChatGPT, put together a list, compile a list, and every movie is a point, and we will see her gamer score.
Don't.
Her movie
Don't
gamer
even.
score.
Oh no, it was kind of funny you were talking about the chat AI stuff, because we were running it on each other in Discord one night, and just for grins, they were like, hey, let's look up like this, let's look up that. And thankfully, a lot of the information that they were like specifically trying to find, they could not find. But according to it, my name is Cassie. I am a live streamer and I play video games, but primarily I focus on cosplaying and makeup tutorials. I was like, oh, none of that's right.
Yeah.
But that's cool. But they did talk about that I did a lot with charity, and I was like, that's neat. And then it was like, and she's a high-end computer on Games Done Quick, and I was like, not even close. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, like there are still French movies that like I have that are in my like. I don't know how much I really want to watch this still. Include like I know you guys haven't seen Martyrs. Martyrs is gnarly, but like Inside is
like most of those like
it's on Tubi.
Well, no, I'm not talking about like it's on everyone's list of like the one and done list or whatever. Like,
yeah.
But I don't think any of those fucking people have seen The Sadness, so I think that's like the tippity top.
Yeah. Well, it's like it. I said it's gnarly, but it's and it's hard to watch at times, but it's not anything that either one of you have never seen, But Inside is one of those movies that I at some point do want to do, but it involves a pregnant woman in a home invasion, and you could just guess where the French take a pregnant woman and home invasion, and you go, yeah. And that movie's been on lists, and like back when I had a friend telling me about that movie in the early aughts, like, oh, you gotta see this, like, I think it came out in the mid, 2000s, and you're just like, oh, okay. And then Martyrs, obviously, after that and stuff like that. But yeah, the extremes of French horror, and it's just like this movie is the violence of it is actually, I mean, there's a lot of violence, but most of it's pretty
tame.
Yeah, pretty tame. But I had to say that the scene where she kills that woman who she just doesn't know what to do with her nipples, and then she runs into that, she kills like 4 people, and then she runs into that big black guy, and she goes, "How many of you are there?" It's like it was like a gangbang or something like
that.
Or
scene
like
somehow reminded me of Drive.
Yeah,
I don't know, just with like how it all played out, and then like when she's like wrestling with. There's a lot of nudity in this movie too, like a lot of nudity.
Yeah,
and like fighting nudity too.
Yeah,
when she's like fighting the other lady who just happens to be nude as well, and like has to grab her boobs in order to like. I'm just like, what is this? What am I even?
Well, that scene though, when they're in the house and she's killing all the people, I had to look up what in the hell she was trying to do, because at first I was like, okay, she's trying to have an abortion, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, but maybe she's just, because like I still
she's checking her oil
out, like when her dad was like pressing on her stomach, I couldn't figure out what was going on there.
Yeah.
And then like I thought, well, maybe she's just really constipated. Like, I don't know. So I looked it up and I was like, ooh, no. Ow.
Yeah, she was trying to give herself an abortion, right? Like,
dipstick.
Yeah.
She was checking her dipstick. It was oily. Yeah, she needed an oil change. That was it, guys. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was the first time you saw the oil at all, right? Like it was because then there was some oil that came out, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
See, the thing that I want to understand is what are the rules of this? Like with rubber, it's just the tire is alive. With this, they don't show any like how is a back seat getting her pregnant, and they didn't show anything.
Yeah.
Like
what was she fucking exactly? That's what I was trying to figure out.
So like then we have to use our imagination there, but then when she gets more and more pregnant and her stomach starts to rip, there's like she's turning into metal. So how is what is the rules here? How is it turning her into metal?
And the baby has
a metal spine.
Metal spine, and that's like
which
all you see
I thought was fucking. That's where like the whole movie, if it didn't end like that, like that's
Yeah.
all in moment. That's a this is art moment.
Yeah.
And then the title coming up like that. Anytime a movie is like, no, this is like
Yeah.
bookend with title, and it's like, here it is.
Yeah.
It
lets
was
you
elegant.
it lets you it lets your imagination go. Because it's like that's what I was talking about earlier. It's like you don't know the whole movie if she's just imagining shit. Like you don't know if they're, because the whole like she binds up her boobs, she binds up her stomach, but then you see her and the woman obviously doesn't have on like the pregnancy prosthetics, right? And you're like, so is this all just in her head? Because how do you get pregnant from fucking a car, right? And then when her dad is just like helps her give birth to the car baby, and you're just like,
their whole relationship was so uncomfortable.
Oh God, it made me like. Because like I mean like even if that was his son, that just
he gets real touchy with him, and it's like he also. No one in this firehouse knows what privacy is. Those motherfuckers are just like barging into rooms without knocking, and it's just like all over the place. They're all just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna barge in now, and I'm gonna barge in. And you're like, can't you motherfuckers like knock on a door? I know like the French are very like, you know.
Well, what exactly
No, I don't know.
compels someone to require their child to strip down to their clothes, like just completely nude, to wash their clothes, and if they don't, they're gonna do it for them. Like,
yeah. Also, especially when like that's the night you bring your son home after he's been missing for 20 years and like shows up at a police station and is like,
yeah,
it's like, because they age like I was confused, and I don't know about you two. Like I was like. I wasn't like, are they like showing pictures of her? Like, I wasn't like, I for a second I thought they were saying that she was like kidnapped or something like that. Like she wasn't, like she was a missing kid because they aged up and it looks exactly like her. And I'm like, no, it's then you get when everything happens, you're like, oh no, that's not what they're saying, because that it took me a second when the whole like where she goes in and starts like shaving her head and everything. That nose scene was fucking not easy to watch when she's
I
like,
know. Well, they did really good with the sound effects, and I feel like that's what High Tension did really well too. So I'm not, I don't know if they just understand that it's way more brutal if you have a really brutal sound effect. But the French movies I've seen all have done a great job making me feel disgusted.
Yeah. It's like making you squirm, right? And it's that thing where it's like, whether they're doing
it's that thing, I know.
Like Ken was talking about, like the dad with him is like you scoring for that a bunch because you're just sitting there going, oh, he's a little. Was that the only one sitting there wondering, like, did this guy? He's a little too touchy with his son?
I honestly sat there and was like, maybe this is a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what. Yeah. I was like, it is a French movie, but I don't want to just think that that this is just normal or okay, because it's not. So it was.
That's why. I mean,
very odd.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. It's just an interesting look into other people's cultures, right? Like that we don't have as like, people from America or Canada, and it's just like
Canada,
blame Canada, blame Canada. God damn it, Josh and your buttons.
It's in the game.
I just love the disapproval that I get from Ken anytime.
I didn't say anything.
I know.
You didn't have to say it. Ken, we see it on your face.
I didn't say any. Look, Weasel even is like, it's fine. Hi.
We see we see the disappointment on your face, Ken. And the questioning of why you're here. You're like, why did I sign up for this? Kidding, Ken. Kidding. kidding. Oh shit. I I I was wondering, like, so do you guys think that the her starting to kill people was like related to her brain?
I read something about this.
Okay.
So it was more about her obsession with cars and like her sexual attraction to cars. But they're like, because people were saying the same thing. They were like, okay, well, maybe her murdering and like her obsession and her like sexual frustration and whatever, like all stemmed from that moment where her head was so fucked. But some people were like, but is it more of a call of like, she was already kind of going that direction anyway, because she's in the back seat and she's like, and so there was a whole conversation happening on one of the things that I was reading where people were like, well, but that's normal, like normal kid behavior. Like, oh, maybe it got like exacerbated by this incident.
Yeah.
So I would assume though that head trauma, we've seen in like how much research on serial killers, head trauma is like one of the main things that ties them all together.
If you remember that whole Aaron Hernandez thing like years ago, and like how his brain was like that of an 80-something-year-old man when he killed himself, right? Because the like just brain trauma, like he was like such a like iconic like case for the NFL, right? Like what all this like, you know, that was back before like, I think right around that time might have been the stuff that started making him go, oh, maybe we should actually, you know, pay attention to concussions and shit, like, you know, in the NFL. But like, yeah, it's that or Chris Benoit. I mean, one of the famous, you know, wrestler who killed his wife and kid.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I remember that.
And then himself, like his brain was also really, you know, that of like an 80-something-year-old. And you're just like, yeah, you get bashed in the head a bunch and your brain does not
appreciate it.
Yeah, it doesn't appreciate it. It's one of those things where it's like there is this artistic element of this woman's films, because Raw's more like to the point, but it's not like it's that same kind of like artsy film storytelling, right? Where you're using this medium to tell a story from a woman's perspective once again, and it's a woman's perspective of both of her movies I've seen. Neither one of them, the woman is ever she's never the victim. She's a, you know, going out and exploring what it is to be human, right? And which is an interesting thing, one, because what's the percentage of women directors compared to men? Is it like 1 in 3 or 1 in 4? Like, it's not, then the percentage isn't very high. So you see that, and you see this woman telling these really interesting stories from her perspective. I enjoy a lot, but it's just like, this is just like, how much of this is about women empowerment and then like just adding in murder, killing, and you know, some violence and weird car things. See, that's like the thing though. You were reading, like, a lot of people think that the whole obsession with the car and the thing is what drives everything. Ken?
Well, that was part of it. And the other part that I read was kind of like how the whole movie was a take on she like combining, there were like a lot of different elements and themes that people were saying were combined all into the movie itself, including like gender, obviously, because a ton of different stuff. But there was a lot of talk about disassociating humanity from machine, but like what happens if they were to like come together, and the fact that she has like zero empathy, zero any type of relationship desire, whatever, until she meets this really fucked up guy. There was so much good information about just the comparisons. But then again, I'm always one of those that's like, okay, well, you get into these comparisons, that's kind of like saying, oh, this is a bottle of water and the writer wrote this is a bottle of water, but then a professor down the line, is like, oh, it's a metaphor for the ocean in your hand. And, so I'm always like very cautious with those, but I do think that there's a lot of really interesting information there about its relativity to oneself.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Uh-oh. Why uh-oh? Oh, because you're making my camera do weird stuff?
No, I don't know. My recording just stopped and started again. So, there's that.
I hope everything's okay. We're like 45 in. We'll figure it out. Well, this podcast was fun while it lasted. No, that's good. It's one of those things where like you get super artsy horror, right? And it's like that thing where you sit there and going. I've talked about it in here before. I talked about it with Josh and like about how like as soon as I watched The Witch, I was like going on YouTube and going, what the fuck was any of this? Like, what was Black Phillip and what was this? And like, this is the movie that like, if I hadn't like been hanging out with the sister like all weekend and like whatever, I would probably would got hooked on YouTube afterwards and like looked at some like thought processes into what a lot of this is and what like the
I like to look at that stuff almost after. Well, I don't know. I guess it would be kind of interesting to have more of an arsenal to come to the show with, but
yeah.
I feel like I don't want to be overly influenced by someone else's thought process before I talk about it. I'd rather just be like, this was fucking nuts. Yeah. And then I don't even know if I can like deep dive more into the reasons because it's not, I guess it's up to interpretation. I just feel like.
Yeah. Well, like for me, I try not to do it unless I feel really dumb and just can't grasp what's going on. And I spent 7 hours in a puzzle room today, so my brain was not comprehending anything this evening.
If it makes you feel better, I put this thing on first thing yesterday morning, and
I watched it Saturday night, I think.
Yeah, I watched you play a bunch of puzzles today, and I'm like, Kim, your patience is stronger than mine because
I love puzzles.
You nailed it today. The thing when you stream a puzzle game is that like feeling stupid because someone else is like figures it out.
I can see it. I can see it. It's right there, and you're like,
yeah.
Do they have like those things where it's like, oh, I don't know, like what type of puzzles were at the room?
Well, it was the one online, or they're the video game ones. I've done escape rooms, but the ones that I really like, they're called The Room. But the ones I'm doing today, because I've beaten the room once and completed them 100%, the Da Vinci Chronicles, the House of Da Vinci.
Yeah.
So they're puzzle boxes within puzzle rooms, within puzzle houses, within puzzle landscapes, but they're like all secret and coded and all kinds of different types of puzzles, which was really cool because I stumbled upon one and I was like, oh, and so I was just doing it. And somebody's like, I don't even know what this is. And I was like, oh, they have monkeys do this. Like they train, primates and different animals to do this puzzle. And they were like, oh, I don't know. I just, whatever.
So I should be able to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing though. Like the solving a puzzle that a monkey can solve doesn't mean that like you might be
I'm not
overthinking things.
It's not saying like in my brain that came out wrong. It's not like, oh, a monkey can do it. No, it's like these are puzzles that they use to train things how to operate puzzles and think in a certain manner. That's the only reason I would know how to do that puzzle. Had I not done that, I would have not been able to figure it out.
Yeah. Josh, you and your shark. Baby shark do 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 baby shark do 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 baby shark do 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 baby shark.
It's peanut butter eating shark.
Mommy shark do 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 mommy shark do 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 mommy shark do 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 mommy shark.
Okay, KPP needs to come back ASAP and
I'll wear my shark costume too. We have a spot. We
What was
did
it?
a
What was it,
fourth
Kate?
person.
What was it, Katy Perry and all the guys in the shirt costumes
Yeah.
at the Super Bowl years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Oh.
now I want to talk about her dad, not the real dad that she burnt on fire. That was the instant you go, this woman, you know she's fucked up, but then when I was like, oh no. I said oh no out loud when she was going into her parents' room and to get the key. I'm like, oh no. And
Can I tell you that's one of my biggest fears? I mean, like I have a lot of fears, but
Yeah.
I'm terrified of being killed by someone else in the house while I'm sleeping, especially being locked in my room.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
That was horrifying. My wife's like, what? I'm like, oh, she's gonna burn her parents alive. And yep, she did. God damn it, Josh. This is what happens when you give a small child a noise button. A bunch of noise.
What?
But what was it, Adrian's or whatever her like male name?
Adrian's dad's
Yeah.
name was Vincent London's character. Oh, he played Vincent.
Yeah, Vincent. I think he had another one of my favorite scenes in this whole movie. It was after, like, I think the second time they show him injecting steroids into his own butt, and he's trying to do pull-ups, and he's just like getting so mad because.
Can we talk briefly about that when he's doing the steroids in the bathroom? Now, listen, I've never done steroids, so I don't know. But I've given myself B12 injections for years.
Yeah.
I haven't done them lately. Oops. But I have never in my life, and even before that, I did other types of injections for my skin and stuff that they're all prescribed. Calm down.
Yeah.
But like I've never in my life had to like twist and turn, and even if I did that, like the whole like overzealous like, oof, oh, like how.
The dude is cut for his age, that's for sure. But like that whole scene is just like when you first see that, you're like, what the fuck? You're like, and the second or third time they show him doing it, he throws his fucking syringe in the trash and then goes. And we were sitting there, my sister and I were sitting there going, did he just kill himself or try to kill himself? Like overdosing on the fucking what the fuck are you playing with Darth Vader noises, Josh? What the fuck are you doing?
Josh is doing it.
God damn it, Josh. But did you get the idea he was trying to kill himself because
No, he was just trying to.
But
get
he
more
did it so
roids.
many times that it made no sense to me. I was like, oh, he fucked
That's
up
why
and
he
he
doubled
injected
up.
too much.
Well,
yeah,
well, no,
and then
Yeah.
the why.
then he was
okay,
alive again, and I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what?
That one didn't make any sense to me when she found him on the floor and she was like holding him. At any point in time, did somebody come in to like help them?
So the thing with that, I
that
thought
one was like, I don't know. But that,
I
I
thought it
think
was a
that honestly
suicide
adds
attempt.
to what you're saying, Rod, like about
Yeah.
it being almost dream sequence like. And
Yeah.
when that
Well-
happened and then he was alive again, I was like, wait, is any of this happening then? Like
And
that was the
thing
first time I thought that.
when he first like talked to him, like his son again, he's like, if anyone hurts you, even myself, I'll kill them. So he had scared his son off. So it seemed like he was killing himself with the steroids because he had hurt his son again.
Oh,
But like,
okay.
I've never
didn't
heard
I
him.
just think
catch
he
that.
just. I just
Yeah.
think he was old and trying to keep up. Not old. I mean, I think that in his mind, he felt he was old and was trying to keep up
Yeah.
with the young guys and trying to keep up and wasn't ready to die.
Yeah,
So in his brain, it was like, ooh, steroids.
I'm trying to figure out how old that guy actually is on his IMDb, but
He was born in 1959. So
Oh. yeah, he.
I'm not even doing the math, just so we all know.
That means he's 65.
64.
My dad was born in 51, so I was trying to do those numbers.
She was born in 79, so 64.
Yep. Josh, I do want to. You've broken Josh. You've broken Josh, Ken. You've broken him.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing today.
I
I never know what I'm doing.
know,
I don't.
that's
Okay,
why-
I'm closed it. I'm
That's
back.
That's why we love you, Josh, because you don't know what you're doing. Josh, what would you have been doing at the firehouse rave where she goes up and starts like she
That
starts
was
doing
so fucking awkward.
Yeah.
Like, just
well, she did it when her dad came in was the real awkward part of it, and like it was weird watching. It was that weird thing where like you start going about sexuality.
I wouldn't be there. That's it. That's just it. I wouldn't be there, man. I'm sorry. I just
the sexuality like Ken was talking about before with like one of the themes of it and like gender, but like the guys you see all the guys there that are like that look like they're all like trying not to look like they're turned on by their captain's son doing this sexy dance on top of the fire truck, and you're like, oh okay. And then when she does it, like when her father comes in and you're like, what the fuck? And there's so many weird like scenes in this film that you're just like, huh? Because like the whole her father Vincent trying to kill himself or not kill, whatever the fuck he was doing, he's doing his extra steroids. Like she wanders off and gets on a bus, and then that creepy fucking scene where they're like those people are saying like talking like very, it's like that masculine like, oh, I gotta say like catcalling and all this shit, and you're just like, okay. And then she just comes back because of all that, and you're like, okay. And there's lots of like, you just have to go with a lot of the things that happen in this film where you're like, okay, I'm gonna go with that. You know what I mean? So
that's what we do with you every episode, Rod. Every episode.
Josh, you are the toddler.
It's in the
with
game.
You have like one of those like those fucking those circle, like it looks like the Wheel of Fortune, but like with all the farm animals on it as a kid, and then you like pull the lever and like it goes around and like
that.
a cow goes moo, and
Yeah.
that's like you and your soundboard for like an entire podcast every week, where you're just like the chicken goes. Oh! I don't know. That was the worst chicken noise of all time, but you covered up with a fart. So
That's what the chicken does.
a
A moose goes.
that's a walrus. We've gone over this, Josh.
It's actually not a walrus. It's a
Wasn't
moose.
it?
No, it's not a walrus.
Okay.
The picture is of a rhinoceros, but it's actually a moose.
Have you guys seen the video that like I've seen it going around a couple of times now where this like I think it was a rhino like finds this sleeping dog on like the side of a sidewalk or something and walks up to it and like wakes it up and scares the living shit out of the dog. You're like, what the fuck is that? And just like it's got to be in like Africa or somewhere, obviously, because rhino walking around is not just anywhere, but
What?
it was
I
like
saw today where some elephants, there's like a road in Cambodia where they have to like get the sugar attacks.
Yeah,
So
they have the elephants have the right of way. So like it says on the street, like if an elephant comes through here, you have to stop. So they figure out where the sugarcane trucks are, and they wait for them. They see them. They cross the street, so they have to stop, and then they just help themselves to sugarcane.
Whoa, those are smart.
Dude, elephants are smart as shit, man. I still think my favorite elephant thing ever is watching a baby elephant. I think it like takes them a year to figure out how to use their trunk, and it's like that. And it turns out it's the same thing that the joke gets happened. Like, what would a woman do if she had a cock? And it's just the spinning the trunk around in circles. Like,
wee.
I would do that.
I mean, let's be real.
Listen, elephants are adorable. The baby elephants how they hold their mama's tails with their trunk. That makes me smile because when HT walked, I had to like pull that back for a second. When HT walks places, I grab his pinky with my finger.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something
I
else.
know, right? As soon as I started, I was like, "Oh, wait, hold on. We really need to specify."
She grabs
the
his
game.
penis and uses it like a leash.
Well, that's what my girlfriend does. So I don't know. I thought that was just like, yeah. Oh, you do that? Oh, we do that too.
And then one day Kim squeezed too hard, and now HT only has one testicle. The squeeze was a little too hard.
Oh
squeeze
my
was
God! Did he scream 6? Out this
And then
week.
they made up this whole story about like testicular cancer just to take the blame off of Kim, so she wouldn't go have a run in with the popo. I want a sequel to Titane though now, where it's just like Vincent and the car
The
baby.
baby.
And
But they're like super villains, and they're like running around with the baby in like one of those push strollers.
Injections.
Yeah, like roided up baby with like laser eyes that like, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, this is my kid," and then a car joins, and they're like, the baby's like, "Papa," and
then they say
"You'll
family.
never take this child from me," and then Vin
And that's
Diesel
Fast
shows up.
11.
No,
Yes.
no. I have a better concept. It's like The Professional with baby Natalie Portman, but instead of like training to be a professional hitman, the baby is training to be a professional F1 driver, but like they have to do it in the shady undergrounds of the French racing scene. And then
It has one of those seats, like that bike that he made on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And that's the seat in the car. Woo!
Dude, that gif of that dildo bicycle makes me giggle every single time I see it, because it's one of the best things ever. And yeah.
And he has one right behind him. Look.
I do not have a dildo bicycle right behind me.
Where
what
is
are you
it?
talking about?
I'm totally
I don't have a dildo bicycle. No,
totally
no,
kidding.
I don't have a dildo. No, Josh. We're supposed to tell everyone about that. God damn it,
Oh,
Josh.
sorry.
God
Sorry.
damn it. It was funny. So this is I want to read.
I love how fast I can just derail the show and destroy it and then bring it back. It's my job.
Okay, I have to read this to you guys, because this is what HT sent me after he listened to our last episode. And he goes, "Hey, woo, Titane, I love the fact that all you know is the chick has sex with the car. Obviously, there's more to it than that. Definitely some weird French shit. Only thing I'll mention is that it's oddly endearing once you meet Vincent Linden's character, which is true, because it's that weird, like, it's that weird, like, that's I think one of the more it's like a story about two people who need each other, who are both like.
It reminded me of Lord of the Rings for some reason, a little bit.
I don't know about that, but I think it would remind me more of like some weird artsy horror movie, but I don't know. And everything that comes from like, I can't be the only one who was watching this who had no idea where this, like, I can never lay down like where this film was going to go. Like,
but then when it actually ended, it was weird, because I was like, I don't know, and I was weirded out by a lot of things and decisions, but you're supposed to, and then the way it ended made it all like not make sense, but like at the same time, yes, almost makes sense, because
it makes sense in this universe.
Yeah, and it's like, because every character in the movie has to accept it, you do too. Yeah. And I think at the end, just seeing it and going, wow, that was fucking weird movie. Yeah. But wow.
Yeah. It's beautifully shot. It's beautifully like this woman knows how to direct, man, because like between this and Raw, you're like, damn, she's really good. And it just makes me keep appreciating French horror, because it's just such that, like, it had that outlier of like those 2000 aughts, like of the French extremist movement, right? But
he got French there for a sec.
I know. I don't know. But I had been meaning to watch this for a while, and now I'm glad we did, and I'm glad we watched this.
Hey, Ken.
Yes.
It's in the game.
Yes.
Damn it, Josh. You are like, we're gonna have to start making sure Josh took his medicine before the podcast. Like, Josh.
I did.
Did you take
I
your?
didn't. I haven't had it all day. I don't know how I got through the stream.
That's me on a Sunday. Like sometimes I don't take it on the weekend just to to make sure I can try to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'll be like,
I sleep great.
I
take that back. I took it this morning. I did not take my other 2 doses of it today.
Okay. So I don't think we're gonna. I don't.
Rod's like, that's nice.
No, it's just all I know, Ken, is that when I have more than one pill like to take for Adderall a day, it was a nightmare.
That's gonna wreck you.
Yeah.
Minus a higher dose, so it would. I'm not allowed to. It would be way too much. My heart would just explode.
But they have the ones that you're supposed to take like 2 a days or 3 a days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
mine's
it's
just straight
So it
Ritalin.
lasts
So,
yeah.
I
I'm
did
supposed
that
to
when I
take
was in like
3.
elementary.
Are you?
yeah, I'm a baby.
You're not a baby, Ken.
I'm a baby.
I'm just a
Baby Ken.
baby.
Baby
So
Ken.
I don't think we're gonna know and tell you guys what we're watching next week yet because we're trying to work out a couple things of what we're gonna do. So we're gonna end up telling you guys. I'll tweet it out or whatever from the podcast thing. But
We'll figure it out. But we have to say, like, Scream 6 is coming out. I'm excited. Kin has a lot too much homework to do in order for us to accomplish this. So I don't want to do that. And like have it's pretty short notice to have a bunch of movies thrown on your lap.
Yep.
We have real lives. We have
do.
real lives.
We're all very busy. It is very true. So we'll figure something out. I'm interested kind of in doing some more. Maybe we dive into High Tension to see what Ken thinks of High Tension. And what Josh thinks of after not watching it for a while.
Honestly, I think that might be that's one of those movies that I don't know. I think I might have been really stoned when I saw it too. And there's like I haven't smoked weed. Honestly,
It's been a couple years, right?
April 13th will be 2 years. I haven't had any weed. So like I used to just be stoned all the time before that and watch all these movies stoned. And I think I was just like particularly stoned when I saw that, and like not in a good way because I don't ever really get affected by movies.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that scene's gnarly that you talk about, but I don't like. I'm like, there's got to be something else there, and maybe you being really stoned explains it.
Maybe
I don't know. So we'll talk about it. We'll tweet it out, and figure out what we'll watch. That would be cool. I still want to watch Inside. That's on my own bucket list for horror movies. Or we.
What do you have? Do you have a bucket list, Kin?
I'm looking to see what Inside is because I don't think I've seen anything.
That's the pregnant lady home invasion movie I was talking about earlier.
Oh, not the one with William Dafoe that's coming out this year.
No, this is from 2000.
That one looks actually pretty good, though.
I mean, you got my attention with William Dafoe because
I just saw a trailer for it, and it actually looks pretty fucking good.
I still have never watched that Antichrist movie because I've heard very, very, very odd things about it. And
I won it
Antichrist
at like a
movie?
film
What?
festival.
it's called
Yeah, it's William
Antichrist.
Dafoe, and there's like,
Penis.
mutilation scenes. And
Oh, I think I watched that.
Yeah, is it Lars someone
Von
La-
Trout.
who
Or-
did the Necro something? What the fuck were those movies called? Part 1 and 2 and all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that which also had
Yeah, I watched that and it was weird.
What, the sex movie? Or
Antichrist.
Antichrist.
Yeah. I heard everything about it and I'm like, I want to see this, but don't want to see this. So we'll tweet out something. But anything
I
else you
have
guys-
it, and I never opened it.
Yeah. Makes sense. I have a bunch of movies like that. I still haven't watched that Kevin James horror movie that I bought.
Oh, Kate, wait, that would be a good one to do, because I
At
think
some
they're making a
point.
sequel to that.
What's it? Becky?
Becky is fucking good, man. She kills it. And then she went on to be, she's in a couple movies that she fucking killed it in, and I was like,
okay.
I hope this girl goes on and has a really good career because she fucking put this movie on her shoulders.
We also had Piggy was an option too because we had talked about that last week.
Right.
Yeah. So
That one's got high scores too, so
yeah.
I'm down for any.
Yep. Okay, we'll figure it out and then let you guys know. Is there anything else you guys want to say about Titan, as Josh calls it, before we go?
Yay!
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I liked it
Yeah,
a lot.
no.
It was weird.
I
as
will
shit.
say I don't know if it necessarily fell into a lot of horror for me in a lot of ways, but it definitely had the elements there. I thought it was great.
It's that weird. It's like it goes from serial killer to body horror. That's why, right? Like it goes from the
100%.
Yeah. That
But
fucking,
it's finally a movie that holds up to the poster. So you can judge a book by its cover on this one because the cover is fucking fantastic
Yeah.
and the movie is fucking great too. So
yeah.
check it out. It's
Okay.
fucked, but
Yeah,
check
it
it
is.
out.
It's a ride, man. Okay, murdermoose.com. We have
Literally.
continue.com. We have quaintaint.com. We got stdhotel.com. We got stdmotel.com. And we got, oh, fuck, I missed one. The
Only nouns.
Only Nouns. Yes. God damn it. Go to Only Nouns and go out all this stuff. We continue. Go to her website. Follow her Twitter because her Twitter's wonderful. And she's just telling her dad jokes and being continuing. It's always entertaining. JoshWRB.com, where he does his movie posters and all his new YouTube stuff. So adventure into Josh's world. And I am just Rod_Johnson on Twitter and Twitch and all that shit and doing shit in other places. So follow
He's
us if you
taking a
want.
dump.
And we'll let you know when we're watching something in the next week. And we love you guys. And again, I said this yesterday when I was watching Psycho Gorman with my sister. I'm like, we end every episode of the podcast with the same way. And so we love you guys, and we will see you guys next week. So bye.
It's in the game.